Hi, everybody. It's Alisha Braché here, Cosmic Gateway. Welcome back to another Cosmic Conversation, and I am so excited to introduce a very dear soul sister of mine, Katharina Oberlik from the Rich Artist, here to have a very broad, I feel it's going to be a very broad cosmic conversation as we've had our little prelude conversation before this one. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, so happy. Always so happy to meet you. And so happy to share with the world what's going on.
Yeah, it's a beautiful. So as we're recording, this is just a little bit over 24 hours before the time of solstice. And we're just having a talk about the outpouring of emotion that's kind of we've both been experiencing, and no doubt all of you in the collective felt that at some degree. But we can come back to that because we're just kind of freshening up from that.
Yeah.
But first
kind of sharing the struggles of divine relationships.
Aren't they divine? They're just so divine.
Yeah, they are. They must be divine. Why? There's no other reason they can be in our lives if they are not divine. They must please let them be divine.
I guess, and the conflict from the higher perspective, and then when we have our very human days, especially when there's a lot coming up, and the triggers that come up, and the misunderstandings, and ultimately they're doing their job as we do, but sometimes it's very uncomfortable. Katharina, tell us a little bit about you.
I will. And I just have this thing coming up now that you say this about triggers, because trigger is so much in now. It's such a theme. I saw many posts, and I feel it's getting more and more people so much realize that it's really how to embrace the trigger. That this is the big learning in ourselves or in myself, and how to see how that the trigger is like a big sign telling me something to heal, and not talking about the other one.
Right.
But what just came up now, what for me was, and I keep forgetting it, but I want to remember it, is this really, really important information. Is this? It's just the patterns of the other person which trigger me. They just show me how the person is also treating themselves. And we mistake it. I mean, we take it because we are the divine mirror, and we have chosen to be in this play with this person, in this dance.
Cosmic dance.
In this cosmic dance. And then we think it's about us. And the even more conscious step, if I could remember in this moment, this is only telling me something about how this person treats himself or herself. It's not even about me.
Yeah.
It's just, okay, the trigger, when I take the trigger, it's about me. Of course, then I have something to look at.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just wanted to add it because it's so, for me, it was such a helpful information, again, to see if this person is not doing what I expect. First of all, it's just their life, and I'm on the other side, and I cannot change this person. I can only have all my compassion and all my love, and even just acknowledge what I need and see where can I fill up my cup, but maybe not there. Maybe this person has another important message, loving function in my life, but not this what I expect. Maybe confused now, but yeah. Wow.
I think that's two really important points. Is triggers are such a catalyst for transformation, and we don't grow without them. So when they come up, it's about not. If someone acts in a certain way, that's part of their program that they're playing out, and it's, you know, not to be taken personally if people are projecting and, you know, having their experience, let's say that in kind of words, and the triggers are always an internal reflection of something that is coming out for release within us. And when we can break it down and not get into blame and victim, and, you know, it can be a conscious process too. So yeah.
Yeah, so I tell a little bit about me.
Please.
I am yeah, most of all, I think an artist. That's why I created this page, The Rich Artist, just in January this year. Like, I think many people, or many women especially, come out with new stuff they are called to.
Yeah.
And so I think I've always been an artist since I can forever think, loving all expression and beauty. So I love our ability to share things through whatever, you know, language, dance, music, theater. And for me, this is so much about emotion and coming together and sharing our humanity, actually. Yeah, because I feel that is what makes us human, that we can share our emotions and we don't have to get stuck in ourselves and sad. But it's really, for me, in the community, and this is for me also a place where healing and growing and transformation and art come together. So I really love arts, because for me this comes from really rituals, and for me art and spirituality is very, very connected, and healing also. So
I always like to see it as an extension of the divine within us that likes to be expressed. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it needs to be expressed. Otherwise, I read this beautiful quote that if you start to be sad or depressed or just shutting down, to ask somebody, since how long didn't you dance or sing or play anymore? You know, so I think we need this. We need play. We need expression to be ourselves. Yeah. We are so much caught. I feel we are too much caught in functioning. Yeah. To-do lists. Do this. Do this. Do this.
I think the beautiful thing, I mean, I reconnected with painting a couple of years ago, you know, and it just helped me through. Speaking about divine partnership, I reconnected with painting through that connection in not being able to communicate or express to anyone in my life about what I was feeling and what was going on within me through this connection. And I found that painting and artwork was the only way that I could pour that. Otherwise, I was going to go insane.
I love to, you know, I mean, I see this picture behind you. I mean, both, and they just express so much. And we, other people seeing it, I will just read it, you know, I will just receive it on this other level.
Yeah.
It doesn't even need to go through the intellectual mind. It can, but it actually doesn't. And there's so much playing on these energetic levels, but we do not talk. I mean, we start talking about it more and more, I feel. I mean, now we know that doctors, I read this, doctors in Great Britain or England, they can now, how do you say, when somebody is sick, they can get singing lessons to get healed. Yeah.
Oh.
You know, like the same with nature, you know. The doctors can now write like you need a week in nature to get just nature, and or just singing lessons, or maybe just a dance lesson, just learn to play guitar and connect to sound or colors or form, your own connection. And I feel the thing about art, the more we are in this digital times, like I spend so much time in online community, and I love this global connection, but I lose my sensuality. We often lose this feeling for feeling something, touch, moving our bodies, seeing a color. Yeah, so this is real. I mean, in a way, this is real earth quality. You know, this is real. This is not our imagination. It's not an inner journey. It's real material or real sound. It does something to our bodies. It really does. So
I was just thinking as you were talking, as it's this information is just coming through, but as we're moving and shifting it, you know, I think that's why perhaps we're having such a big discussion about divine partnership prior to recording, because it's a big part of that. And when you talk about how divine partnerships are a catalyst to help balance the masculine and feminine energies within us and on the planet, I think reconnecting with the artistic self is a big part of the feminine energy within us rising and re-emerging, if you will. So all these things that you talk about in singing and connecting with nature and expression really is helping. And so what was coming through was like we're moving into this galactic new year in midway through or at the end of July, which is the year of the divine feminine, which is more of a unity energy. And I wonder if we're going to see this emerging of more creative art and artists starting to rise and express themselves, whether it's singing, dance. I mean, it's just nothing makes my heart sing more than seeing people express themselves creatively. I think it's such a vital part of our spiritual evolution.
Oh, I'm super touched. Just I don't know why exactly. I just had this what came just to me is that I think that art makes us whole, really whole, you know, really. And it's from this and this whole place when we meet from there, when we feel when I feel whole in myself. And in this holiness, we are always beautiful. It's how I feel. You know, when I connect to my voice or my body, and just like, oh yeah. And then I connect to others from this place. Then I feel whole and beautiful, and I don't need anybody. You know, that's my cup is full.
Yeah.
And I'm loving myself, and then I can. It's easy to love the others. And then we also do not want something, or, you know, we just are. We just are who we are. And that's
putting ourselves back into a balanced state where we're not needing from a place of needing to be fulfilled. We're just filling our own vessel. And I wonder, sorry.
It's just this point about feminine energy, because I feel we know all of us, we have the male and the feminine inside. So we have these parts, and I just got touched because it came to my mind that, like, in my partnership with my partner, I know we connect through the body. I think there's even a book, it's about the 4 or 5 languages of love. I haven't read it, but maybe I read it years ago. Yeah, I just know that in my partnership we connected through dance, and when we dance, I know then I have this feeling like, hey, yeah, we belong together. This is like, you know, we need to be, I mean, we share this space. And when I meet like this with him, I'm like, yeah, this is the man of my life, you know? Sure, 100%. When we talk, no, what I could think like, why the heck is this person in my life? You know, we have no connection. So it's also very important to see that, you know, to meet, to acknowledge these other levels and dimensions in which we can meet.
Yeah.
Especially when we are so caught up in this functioning world instead of this magic. Sometimes I think if we just could get out of it and we are in a magic world, and then partnership, I dream would get easier, but I think it's a project. It's not a true thing. This is a project.
I think it's possible. It's just
yeah.
I was having this conversation the other day about how over the last couple of years, 4 or 5 years, whatever time, there's been such an acceleration of clearing wounds, traumas, patterns, you know, on a collective level, and we've all been a part of that it's made connections and relationships like 10 times harder than what they would be or should be because of our own internal processing that every person's going through. So I do believe that we get to a point where it balances out, and then connections can reconnect at a higher place. Doesn't mean that they're going to be, you know.
Yeah.
But one thing that I was going to say before is that it would make sense about feeling that completion, wholeness while engaged in creative pursuits, because I see it as such a connection to the divine. So it's like a meditation practice. So oh God, all this stuff's going, you know, when you're in meditation, you're connecting with source, you know, you feel whole and complete, you know, and it's that vibration. So being able to express creatively it's the same process. It's just in a different outlet.
It is. I think you are. I have this, maybe you know it. It was like when you pray, you are talking to God. Yeah. And when you meditate, God is talking to you. I always loved this. And now I never ask myself, like when you dance or when you paint or when you sing, maybe it's really a kind of union. You allow this is beautiful. You know, you allow yourself to connect to this energy and be it. And maybe that's why sometimes art or great artists or pop stars are like so raised, you know, which is also a little bit difficult. I wanted to talk about this because I found out that for me it's really, or part of my mission is to bring art back in the daily life, you know, because I've been like kind of fighting or my life to get famous and to get, you know, to like come to a certain place, to finally realize, because I was directing also theater pieces, I'm a lot in performance and theater, because there I can bring everything in. That's the beauty of theater, is everything. And just to find out that this wanting to get there, I have to be a famous director, it's very stressy. and it's not that what makes you happy, you know. I could be after a production, I mean, that always made my steps of transformation or moving forward was, I really put a lot of mail and active and to reach a certain goal or to have a really beautiful production out. And then you're there and you play it like 6 or 10 in Germany. It's not so easy I'm in the free, like I'm not in the traditional theater house. I'm in the freelance free space. So you show your piece 8 to 10 times or 4 times. And then it's always this, was this worth all this struggle? Like, going like this? And my answer is like, no, I did it because I wanted to reach something, but the actual beauty of where I'm at now is like, how can I integrate this energy in my daily life? So, I don't need to be, I want to be a professional. I am I make my money teaching people to play and to express. And still, even if I'm teaching it, I'm still looking like, how can I really give myself, and if it's only 20 minutes a day to sing a song or to work a little bit with my voice, to have a little yoga or expression, or if a song is in my mind, put it on and have a little dance. How can I really stay connected to this? I guess you do too. I see your paintings. So
yeah,
how
there's
much, how do you give time to art? Do you paint every day? I'm just curious now.
no, my connection is I feel that my healing work's very creative, because it's that connection to source energy, and it especially when I'm doing sessions in person, which I don't do a lot of anymore, but there's a lot of movement that comes in with doing the activations, because a lot of people speak light language or sing light language, which is that sound and toning, and I'm like, oh, that's one gift I haven't yet got. May not be my thing, but quite often it's very I use my hands. My hands are my modality, and a couple of years ago when I started doing activations, I noticed that there was all these signals coming through my hands. I had no control, which I was a little bit like, is my hand just doing that? So I guess that's one way, connecting with nature. I'm always in nature. I spend probably some days up to 4 hours just walking amongst the trees. It doesn't matter if it's like a thunderstorm or it's 40-degree heat, like I'm always outside. But the painting comes in waves. And so it's generally during my sessions that I will be downloaded an image, because it's something that's happening on a collective level, and then I'm asked to paint it to try and explain it, which actually I got today. So I've got tomorrow off, and I've got all this artwork that I have to produce. Not have to, and I generally block it. It just happens that there'll be a day or 2 days where I have nothing booked, and it's usually the day before that I get these images that come in, and then I can never actually reproduce them the same way I see them.
Yeah.
I don't draw things in it. I literally just like grab the colors and then like just get going.
Yeah.
That's my process.
Yeah.
I find it important because a lot of information comes through the artwork, like a deeper level of understanding and consciousness. So something, if I've been trying to work out a concept or a theory or an idea through painting, the information comes through that. It's like a channel. Yeah, it's like channeling. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, definitively.
So, but I like to explore this concept because let me pose this question to you. Do you believe that there is an artist within everyone?
Yeah, for sure. Because when I was also thinking about also this, what I can offer, it really, the word, the inner artist came, just the inner artist. It's like, yeah, I think, I believe everybody has an inner artist.
Yeah.
And it's just, and this is not even limited to art. This is just, I think, in a way, art, I don't even know what does the word mean, but it's the way how we do things. And that you can be a math professor, and then maybe the way you approach it is your art. You know what I mean? There's such a beauty in numbers, or how you write, even how I love writing. And for me, all this is, I even have this idea like the sound of my voice, it's just my frequency, is a way of my art. Actually, I think everybody is a piece of art.
It's such a beautiful way to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like in Buddhism, it's like to just reach, just to be here as a human. It's such a gift, and to have this body. And if you look at people, there's so much. If you start looking at people with love, you always will see the beauty in each, in every person. And so for me, this is really, and then of course comes in all the individual. I mean, I even think we can see everything in people. All the life is like kind of there. There's a super beautiful quote, which is God or goddess couldn't resist you. She created you because she couldn't resist. This is
God, I love that.
And just give it, because each of us choose to come this way and be. I like this idea. I'm not sure, but I like this idea that we choose to come this way, who we are. And I think, and God has said, I can't resist. You're a beautiful creation. So everybody has an inner artist. All children love to sing and dance, especially the girls, because they are more encouraged. And maybe if we believe in biological gender, whatever, then some boys might have more a different energy. But even running, fighting, playing, this is, I mean, the art of fighting, it's all, if you start to put your conscious on how you do it and how you guide your energy, then it becomes beautiful and a work of art. Whatever.
And I think that, when I connect with people like you, and I think the world is so blessed to have people like you in it. I know that you've worked in the conventional school systems and you've done so many amazing things, and now doing your own thing, which is so liberating. It's a beautiful thing when you can just do what your soul is calling you to do. But to have people like you that are helping bring back that balance, because I don't know about in Germany, but I know that especially in Australia and a lot of countries, artistic expression isn't really supported or encouraged in the school systems. Like, yes, it is available, but there's so much more emphasis put on the other subjects that are more left-brained, logic, structure, and I think that to have people like yourself to bring back the importance of art and expression helps to bring a balanced society. Ultimately that,
Actually, you want to talk now? Yeah, I have something to say. So he wants to say something. It's proven. It's even proven. It's proven that happy kids, happy people are more intelligent and can do the other stuff more easy. There's scientific proof.
Hi there, Monkey. Monkey, would you like to introduce yourself?
Can you introduce me, Katharina? Okay, this is Monkey Me. Or you are Monkey Me. Yeah, I am Monkey Me. My sister is Monkey You. I'm sorry. So this is my monkey. One of my monkeys. I have two monkeys. And he's very proud to be in the show. It's actually an interview. It's not a show. We're going to have shows. We are going to choose many shows.
I was just thinking, we have so much to talk about. We're going to have to break this down in episodes. Would you come back on the show, Monkey?
Yeah, of course. He's enthusiastic. He's really like, I mean, to be honest, he likes Kermit the Frog very much. So I grew up with the Muppets, with the Muppet Show, and I just loved it. I'm sorry to say. Who is Kermit the Frog? Who wants a frog when you can have a monkey? And honestly, think about it. Just think about it. Okay, think about it. If you prefer a frog or a monkey, just whatever. Yeah, so I started to work with the monkeys, and they came to me already by magic. You see, I want to show them those. The sister wants also to come. Can you help me? Oh, they are so sweet. They sometimes they don't kiss. They just support each other. Sometimes we kiss. But now, for the moment, we are only brother and sister. Yeah. So this is monkey she, and this is monkey he, and I started to work with them to produce little videos, and I just do it, and it brings me so much joy. And for us too. For us, it's also very joyful. Yes, because we also want to be in the media world, because we think we have a lot to say, and also read it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very much. I mean, I've so enjoyed seeing your videos as they've started to unfold. But what I've enjoyed the most was I had a session with you, and obviously you offer a couple of different sessions where you offer a lot of artistic coaching for people wanting to really connect with their creative expression. But I had a monkey coaching or counseling session, and these monkeys also read cards.
Yes, I do cards. I do intuitive visioning. We do everything. Are you sure? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, for a long time I'm in spiritual sangha. I do spiritual work. I do meditation. I dance. I mean, there's a little. So he's super confident, which is a good quality, and she's a little bit more down to earth. But anyway, we can together. We are a very good team, and we can support people to be creative and get in contact with the inner artist. Oh my God, it's really tough to have both of them and me. So what did you say?
I just love it, because if there is I was just saying how I had the experience of having a session, and it was so enriching, and it was so different, and it was so unique, and there was something really different about connecting with the different aspects of the masculine and the feminine through the monkeys. And it was almost like having support from both sides, both narratives, is how I felt anyway. And I think what a beautiful modality to, I mean, for anyone, but what came to mind was that people aren't, children or people who aren't used to opening up to be able to connect with the monkeys is a less threatening kind of, there's a stigma around, healing, or well, at least in the mainstream, healing or counseling, that, but there's something just magic. I mean, you can't not smile.
Even for me, it was, I mean, it's, I thought it's maybe not even counseling. I was thinking it's more like an interactive show. Not just about the show. We don't want to show, we want to touch. Yeah, it's an interactive touching show with somebody as a guest star. So of course, everything that happens depends from what is like flowing, between us. So yeah, thank you. And I just wanted to add that even me, I'm so surprised how different they are. Like for me, it's super interesting to to find out how my male side is so confident and fast forward and going for it, and how she is so tender and so sweet and shy, but very wise. Sometimes she has all this wisdom, and the beauty is that he starts listening to her. He really respects her. She's smart, maybe even smarter than me. Wow.
Actually, what a great tangible way, because I know so many people struggle with, how do I get in contact with my masculine? How do I get in contact with my feminine? How do I balance the two? You know, it's probably maybe not the number one thing, but maybe the most important focus on divine partnership is this whole masculine feminine integration. And I was just thinking of playing with it as an external thing. You can really gauge how those elements are playing within you. It's like a reflection back on yourself in a way of self-discovery.
Yeah, you really get to know yourself much more and differently. And you don't even need monkeys. You could also just have a sock puppet. Sock, do you say? Chaussette? What is it? Sock? No, not
Sock, yeah.
Sock. Yes, sock puppet. And because we started creating sock puppets. And also it was so surprising that came out. That's actually just what we've been talking about. When you create something, it will be a unique expression of something in you could not have seen other ways.
Yeah.
Never in other way. That's the beauty. Since they are here, I don't know what to do anymore. What else you want to know? Alisha, come on.
Well, monkey me, I would like, we were talking about this earlier, and we were talking about how the energies are intense and a lot of people are feeling very emotional, and it's hard for the masculine and it's hard for the feminine in different ways. Have you got anything to say, monkey?
Yes, because I have a lot of contact with Katharina and I see what's going on. What I see at the moment is actually the females, they are kind of stepping up. It's my impression, and it's not easy actually, because as a male, I have to acknowledge they have all this wisdom which is needed in the world now, and now it seems like can you say it? Okay. It seems like we don't want to take it anymore. I mean, there's certain patterns, and they worked for years, and they don't work anymore. And it's not easy for us as a female to step into because we need to lead now. I'm sorry to say that, but it's just a matter of fact that we are taking over. I mean, I don't want to even say only. I mean, the best would be we could just lead together. That would be really ideal. Just as things as they are, it's like the balance is the yin yang. You know, the whole. We have this little yin yang choreography. We are working on something here. Just the matter of fact that now the female energy is going into the leading position. So. But it's not easy, because we are also so used to we want to be guided by the men, and we want to be protected and supported, and sometimes the men are not used to that yet, because they still think they need to lead and yes, and we have to make all the decisions, and we want to be in front, and all this it's just not working anymore. And so I know that Katharina, for example, she starts to really express her anger, and she starts to, we have to confront to maybe better be alone than to follow the old patterns, because it's just not fun anymore. And we want to have fun. I mean, we choose this beautiful person to be supported and to share our love. And yeah, but yeah,
thank you, monkeys. While you're talking, I was thinking there is a new identity that's happening within both, and learning, because we're breaking away from so many old patterns. I think for both, we're trying to maneuver in a new space that's a little bit unfamiliar, because it doesn't have all the old conditioning, so it's adjusting to how to be in that and how to relate, and this balancing, this new template coming into the planet of relationships.
If you say so, then it gets, because we are so used, I think in our female, we are very angry for a while, like 2,000 years or so.
It goes back a long while.
Yeah. So we tend to, I think we tend to, when this anger is rising up now, this is the point we cannot hold it back. It's not possible anymore to accept certain things. So, and then we tend to, I tend to just want to split up. I just go like, you know what? Fuck you, if you hold like this, I just can't do it on myself, Anyway, I did it all myself all the time. Because you just thought I have to do what you want, and then we just go like, Pah! Then I do it on myself, kick you off. So yeah, and now I think I'm a free monkey. And I think that's a beautiful place. A free female monkey or human being, it's a very nice place, because then all the beautiful female energy can come in. But then she wants to play. She's looking for people to be with and play. And now she needs a lot of girlfriends. I think she needs friends, female friends, to have a lot of fun. And then also he can also come in. Oh, you look beautiful. And then they can meet, but they can only meet if she's in this free place. And that's the new, what we say, I think that's the new, and they have to learn both, because we both have to let go of old stuff, old patterns. And I think the beauty is, instead of just breaking up, maybe you just break up for a day or two, and then you breathe. Okay. And then you see what's coming up, and if he's strong enough to stay present. Both. If they don't just go like gone, if they just stay and check how this, whatever, and you're still there.
I laugh, because I think myself, so many people can identify with that. But I think there's, especially, there's a purpose in the disconnection. When the disconnection takes place, it allows both people and their energies to find this new balance. And then when it comes back and reconnects at a higher level, at a different level each time. And it doesn't have to be dramatic, and although
it's beautiful said.
Yeah, that sometimes the breaking away to reconnect is necessary, because it's breaking away from the old pattern. It's breaking away from what wasn't working, to give clarity, to give space, to give perspective, and then it can reconnect to a new energy, a new foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And without that break, it would just continue on that muddy mess.
Yeah. And we get, how do you call it, involved, or there's this, we build these strings, and we are needy, and we are this, and just by getting this free space, then we can meet again. And always, I think it's a pity, but sometimes it's really through the split that we get the appreciation back. Like, just like, oh my God, how beautiful that you are in my life. Because in the source, you know, in the source of the meeting, or when you fall in love with somebody, this person touches you deeply. Otherwise, you wouldn't. I've been 17 years without, you know. So if somebody comes and touches my heart, there must be something.
Yeah.
And but to come to this point, for me also, it's often necessary to come to the point of I can be on my own, you know, I can be all one. I can do it, because I don't want to. Don't even like myself meeting the person from this needy point. And still, it's super important to communicate what we need. It's not being needy, but to communicate like, hey, honestly, for project the future from this relationship, I need a bit of this and that. Or I would like, and still I cannot change. Maybe it will, my teacher was speaking about it, and he said, maybe you can never change somebody. You can try your whole life to change somebody. You won't. And you can always love somebody. It's such a difference.
One that reminds me, something that came to me years ago, and it was like, you'll never change somebody, like, but the way that you approach a person can create change. So it's like when you're coming at someone, try to give an example, like someone who's dissatisfied with their partner because they do this, this, and this, and they're like, why do you do this? That makes me, you know, but taking a different approach to it can actually be, but it takes that inner transformation for us first to embody and understand why that's being shown up in our reality, to then have the wise to take a different, and that can, you know,
And that's also interesting, because that's what you articulate here, is like, how can I be an invitation also for communication? You know, how can I express things in a way that I also learn about this person? So not only like, you always no, but maybe it's also like, why, or how do you? Sometimes I shared already that my partner is not so much speaking, but sometimes I just ask, like, how do you see that? And just to listen to this perspective is like so interesting for me. And instead of complaining that he doesn't share, I can also see, like, how can I invite him? How can I be an invitation? That's also something from my teacher. I love this. How can I be the sweetest invitation for a loving meeting?
Yeah. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, Katharina, it's been, I mean, I think we have so much more to talk about, and I would love to have, you know, second, third, however many rounds of cosmic conversations together, just to explore the divine partnership relation, you know, relating, but also the artistic expression. And but
so much. I mean, there's, at the moment, it's like, it's so much change. For me, it gets so much clearer how much change is needed and how much we are needed to go for it and support each other.
Yeah.
Because then we can, you know, it can really unfold together.
Absolutely.
Let's see what's coming up. And create a TV show.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of exciting projects in the pipeline.
Yeah, I so much ideas also about the kids in the schools and you know, so much.
That's, yeah, as you know, that's a project that's starting to formulate at the moment, and it's always been a passion of mine, and this creative stuff, you know, I think I have a really soft spot because I was more spiritual when I was a child, and that wasn't nurtured through the school system. thankfully I had a support outside of it, and I didn't conform. But I look at the children that I've worked with over the years, and more so in the later years, and I see how that aspect is crushed. And I think it's the same with the creative elements. I know I gave up on certain, I was very artistic as a child, and I loved to create. I was creating my first oracle deck when I was like 7.
Yeah, cool. So cool. I mean, imagine we could have it now.
What? And it was so amazing. Like, it was just like I was cutting out images and like sticking them on it, like there was nothing to it, but I would read for people.
Wow.
And it would always be accurate, and it used to blow my, because I wrote a little book of like the meanings. And I think, children are intuitive, they're connected, they have all those qualities that as adults we get pushed aside because of, you used a word earlier, you used a word, obligations, not the word you used, but societal expectations, obligations, and it's about keeping that spark alive. And it's hard as an adult to reconnect with that if it doesn't feel natural. So I think our duty is to not only encourage the adults, but keep that light open and inspired.
Yeah, and keep the mystery open,
Yeah.
of living, of being alive. Yeah. We can have another. It would be nice to have a conversation, because this for me also is a big thing. The education and the kids and how we can support them. So
Thank you. We'll do. Let's do this again, and we'll take up right where we left off. And we'd love to hear your comments if you have anything that you want to share. But most importantly, if you feel that you want to connect with Katharina and book a session with her, connect with her, follow her page, I highly encourage you to do so. She's a beautiful soul, and she has so much to offer. So I will put all her details, and Monkey, he and she, I'll put all their details in the description box below, so you can connect through there. And until next time, thank you so much.
Thank you. Wait, I get the other monkey just to say bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Happy Soul Star Star. Thank you.
Solstice.
Thank you, Alisha, so much, love.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for watching. And stay tuned to our next episode. Mwah. Bye.
Bye.